Greetings. Patrick here, have Cheetah will view, and welcome to the show. Welcome to Eight Questions with. I'm the
Greetings.
host. Whoops.
Patrick here, have Cheetah will view, and welcome to the show.
Can't have that going on. Yeah. Sorry about that. So yeah, welcome to Eight Questions with, and I'm the host, of course. And our guest today, our special guest today, will be Ken and Ashley Sledge from Sledgehammer Horror. They're going to come over and pay us a visit, and we're going to be talking movies with those two. They just popped up and did a convention. They were at Astrocon, uh, Astronomicon, which actually was held. I thought it was in Ann Arbor, um, but it looked like it was in Livonia. I don't know where I was. I could have went. That's if I, of course that would require me getting out of the house though, right? All right. So welcome to the show again. And wow, what's going on in the world today? Well, I think the one thing that caught me by surprise, was that Sundance, the famous festival for all upcoming movies. Seemed like a lot of just tons of movies came out of the Sundance Festival. It looks like it is going to end in 2026. The renewal was not going to be it's not going to happen, and now they're going to be looking for a new home. Might not leave Utah, but it is going to be leaving Sundance. So that's pretty big news, really, quite honestly. Hey, Stephen, how are you? Glad you're here. Glad you're here. The other thing I have to say too is that tomorrow's guest, Chanel Ryan, will not make it here tomorrow night. She was called away to do location shooting, and so we will try to get her back in May. We will see how it goes, and so I don't know what we're doing tomorrow. Probably nothing. I have no idea. See if I can actually see if I can find somebody at the last minute. If not, well, we'll be back anyway on Saturday with the Friendly Men anyway to talk about Canadian with the Canadian band Jaded Truth, and they'll be our guests here on Saturday. It is what it is. Uh, so yeah, sorry about last night. That was another yeah, that was not a good night last night. So you guys hung out with me in the chat. Our guest, well, the less said, the better, and they're not all winners. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I mean, sometimes they come up there and snap you in the ass. It happens. I mean, you can't do a show like this and expect everything to run smooth every time. Sometimes things happen that are out of our control. And so what we do, we just dust off the dust and keep moving forward, right? So plus we have Ken and Ashley Sledge, and they are good for an entire week of shows, if you ask me. Uh, yeah, yeah, the show, yeah, it's frustrating. It's frustrating sometimes, but it is what it is. And there's not a single YouTuber out there that isn't shaking their head going like, I know what you're talking about. We all have had our moments on YouTube where things have not gone our way. And through various circumstances, you just go ahead, like I said, you just dust off the dust and keep moving forward. Wishing everybody the best. No ill will. So, and plus we got Anthony coming back. We got Anthony coming back as a guest next Monday. So there you go. Uh, see, he is still stuck in the 95, 96. I think I know what he is. He's stuck because he's writing about the Yankees. Anthony is writing about the 95, 96. The Yankees won back to back years, I believe. And that is taken up. Yes, Anthony Shabbat, right above you. He will be a guest on Monday. Yep, he's a guest. And Anthony is stuck writing. He's not, he doesn't have writer's block. Like you don't know what to write. You can't really write anything. What's going on with Anthony is that Anthony is writing about watching the Yankees win the World Series. That's right. And that's what you're writing about, right? You're writing about the Yankees. I think they won in '95 too, didn't they? Hi, Sue. How are you? And oh, I'm sorry. Well, thank you so much for coming by, though. I appreciate that. Hey, Stephen. How are you, sir? How are you? Hopefully, you're doing well. Hopefully, you're doing well. Yeah, writing a biography, that's tough work. I can't or a memoir. I don't know if I could do that. I don't think anybody would read what I would write. Yeah, Russell, no doubt. Anthony came on before, and we had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. Anthony's a fun guest. Oh, really? Huh. All right. I did not know that, Sue. I couldn't do memoirs either. It would be such a muddled mess. I mean, that takes a lot of skill to write a memoir because you have to go back every year and bring it up, and it's just like I mean, I could probably do it, but the memories just don't rotate. You just have to put every memory that you could think of down, and then you got to try to figure out the year that it happened with. And right now I couldn't tell you what happened yesterday, much less 30 years ago. I like reading memoirs. I mean, I do. I like reading autobiographies. I enjoy reading. I enjoy reading them very much. Uh, Hold on 1 second. I will be right back. Excuse me. All right. Had to handle a little bit of business. Let's see. Yeah. Now see, Russell, you got it. You got it. I can't remember. I can't remember. Oh, what's going on, Dell? Come on in. Come on in. That's right. I have your list. I'll be having your list by today, actually, Dell. I'm sending you 10 movies, and hopefully one of them will intrigue you enough to watch. I did pick the movie that I will be watching that you sent me, and I have been interested in it for quite a while. So I'm gonna go with it. So I'm very happy about that. I was actually surprised to see it on the list. And we're like, really? I would have thought that you had seen it, but then again, I hadn't seen it. So who am I to say, right? But I'm excited to watch it and discuss it with you. Whenever you get the time, of course. Um, and I will let you guys know what's coming on the calendar while I can. So tomorrow, like I said, I might just do open lines tomorrow. I might just pop up, do 2 hours of just rambling. Actually, I probably will because there's somebody I want to push a little bit. They've been hanging out trying to get past 500 on their channel. That's been staring at me now for months. I'm tired of looking at it. I want to get them over 500. So I think we will be back tomorrow night for that. And anybody else who wants to come by and get their channel pushed, come on by, and we'll definitely do that. And that will be at 8 o'clock or so. And then this Saturday on the 20th at 4 p.m. I'll be joined by the Friendly Men. James and Jonas, and we will be interviewing the Canadian band Jaded Truth at 4 o'clock on Saturday. Sunday, we have Brian from Dragon Movie Guy YouTube channel. He will be our special guest on a special Sunday night edition of 8 Questions With. I generally don't do Sunday nights with 8 questions, but for this one, we're making an exception. I was recently on Brian's channel. He and I did our summer review, our summer preview, I should say, our summer preview of the movies that we're looking forward to seeing the most. And it was incredible because we both picked the same movie that intrigued us the most, that the one that we wanted to see the most. We both had it down as our number one, though I think that we had it on. All right, that's awesome, Russell. Great. Ken and Ashley are wonderful people. Really, really. They do live streams on Thursdays as well, with various guests and different topics. They do first horror movie. They do interviews. They do it all, and not only Angel, she works in the hospital, and she provides a lot of care and compassion for people who need it. So that instantly puts her on a different level. That's for sure. I don't know, and we'll have to ask them that because they just walked through the door. Ta-da!
Hey, how's it going?
Hi, how are you? You finally got you guys together this time.
Yeah, excited.
Well, welcome to the show. I was just mentioning how it was a bummer about you just went to the convention right by me, Astronomicon number 7. I do think they do 2 a year, if I'm not mistaken, and I thought that one there was the one that they held in Ann Arbor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, this was Livonia at Burton Manor.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. Now is that the one with the band Twist? Oh, maybe I am wrong about this.
Yeah.
Is that the band Twisted hosted? Okay. Okay. So I do think that they do come. I think they do. I'm hearing feedback here. Testing 1, 2.
Is that a little better?
Testing 1, 2. Perfect. Yep.
Okay.
Well, testing 1, 2. 1, 2. Huh. All right. Let's see how that goes. Well, we'll just muddle through it. I don't know what that is. Can you hear that?
I don't hear anything.
No, I don't hear anything.
Okay. Well, let me see if it's me. Let me back out and come back in.
Okay. So what's going on, everybody? Nice to see you all.
Hello.
I'm Ken. This is Ashley, my wife. We are Sledgehammer Horror. We've been a horror channel for about
3 years.
3 years now.
Yeah.
We do My First Horror Movie, where we bring guests on to talk about the first horror movie they watched. We also do. You want to talk about Versus and did see it come in?
I think Patrick might be back.
No.
All right. How about that? Oh, there we go. It's much better. Oh,
okay.
Crap.
Is it better?
No, I can still hear the feedback.
That's weird.
It's crackling.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything. People in the chat, can you hear any type of feedback? Because I don't hear anything.
Yeah, how does it sound out there?
Should we back out and come back in?
Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah. All right, I'll back out. I'll come right back in.
Okay. Ta-da! Yeah, okay, good. Or we're gonna try it again. It's been a week. What can I say? It's been one of those weeks. All right. Let's see how testing 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's 100% better.
We sound better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Cool.
So yeah, I totally marveled on that as far as that goes on the convention. And you guys were invited to that, right? That's your first you were invited as guests for that show, right?
We were media guests
Yeah.
for this one.
Now that's your first time?
Yes.
Mhm.
This is our first time actually being media guests. We actually, it was cool. It was a really, really cool experience to be able to go in and become media guests for the first convention. We were, like that. It was I don't want to say prideful, but it was pretty epic. It was pretty awesome to be
Yeah.
able to say we were invited out to do this.
Yeah. No, I was very like thankful and just like I couldn't believe that we actually got to do that.
Yeah, got to meet some really cool people and interview some amazing people. So it was a overall really, really good experience.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's definitely safe to say that you guys earned it. There's been channels out there that I have actually said that to, like you guys should ask for a press pass. I mean, because you guys have the content, you have the following, you have the cachet. They at least ask for a press pass. Now, whether they give it to you or not, that I can't say, but you definitely deserve at least to try to ask. And
Yeah.
That's what I said. The worst thing that can happen is they'll say no.
Right.
Yeah, that's the worst thing that'll happen.
Yeah.
There's another tuber that is actually going to go as a guest for the first time as well. They went ahead and they asked for a press pass and they got it right away, and they were like totally shocked by it and go like, "Why are you shocked? I mean, you have earned it." So
that's awesome.
now,
Yeah, the
now,
best advice I can give: take full advantage,
Mhm.
but be very respectful.
Yeah.
Always ask the guest, hey, when would be a good time to talk to you? We just want to ask you a couple questions. Keep your interviews short and sweet. We did 3-question interviews to almost everybody, unless they said it was okay to do more.
I mean, most of the time they had like a line of people wanting to meet them and take pictures and pay for their time. So yeah, we just wanted to make sure
be respectful.
Yeah.
Don't take away from their paycheck.
Right.
So we would just ask, when's a good time to talk to you? We approached Bill Mosley on Friday.
And he said Sunday.
He said, please come back on Sunday and I'll be happy to talk to you. And he did. He was amazing. Kane Hodder, same way. We actually spent a lot of time with Kane on Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
And then he asked us to just come back and talk to him on Sunday so we could actually get it on record. Because we had a good, 20-minute conversation just bullshitting with Kane Hodder, and the sweetest guy in the world.
He cracks me up because he likes to photobomb.
Oh, he photobombs everybody. Yeah. It's amazing.
So he photobombed a bunch of pictures.
We actually brought it up because we met William Catt from House. And when we were doing our conversation with Bill Catt, Kane Hodder in the background was photobombing the whole time. So we brought that up to him at Horror Hound, and we told him, because we were just, we went to Horror Hound just to go meet people. Mm-hmm. We didn't go to as Sledgehammer Horror. And we told him we were going to be at Astronomicon. We were going to be media guests. And he was like, come and find me. Let's have an actual conversation at Astronomicon. Mm-hmm. And when we found him, we reminded him of when he photobombed us with old Bill. Yeah. And he just started laughing. He was like, yeah, let's have an actual interview tomorrow. So Ashley actually did the interview with Kane Hodder, and it was amazing to watch her work. Patrick is gone again.
Good old StreamYard. And you actually survived.
Yeah.
Most women don't survive with Kane Hodder.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not just any final girl.
Right. And Kane is just the sweetest guy. Like he is just so kind.
He is
and
really nice. Yeah.
Way above what I thought he would be.
Well, don't you think people have built up, when people, it seems like when I talk to a lot of people, they have built up the stars or the actors or whatnot in their own head. They have built them up to be these big icons, and in many respects they are, being the body of work and what have you. But they're people first, and I think a lot of times, it must be a lot of pressure on them. When people come up there and meet them, they're expecting them to be a certain way. And then when they're by themselves, like I'm not this bigger than life person that you see on the screen. I'm just Kane Hodder. I'm just like you,
Yeah.
I think that's what was so lucky for us is we got to have a real life conversation with Kane on Saturday night and have a sit down, nice, real, genuine conversation just about horror and the travel and stuff like that. It wasn't like an interview. It was just like old friends BSing and catching up.
Yeah. And he told us a lot about he did all the stunts
for
House and
for those of you that don't know, House is my first horror movie. It's my favorite horror movie. And he talked about how House actually made his connection with Sean S. Cunningham, which took him into Friday the 13th Part 7 a couple years later.
Yeah. And he thought that he was just going to be Jason once because everybody else did. But he actually got to be through 7 through 10, really.
Yeah. And how exciting that was for him because he was such a big fan of the franchise before he became Jason, and he thought that CJ Graham was going to be for sure locked in for Part 7. And when that fell through, he was just like, I got to do this. And that's why he went so crazy in 7 because he thought it was going to be the only shot he had. So
yeah, he almost met his demise on that too with the staircase stuff. Yeah, Adam Marcus was telling us about that. He almost died on that one. That's not something else. Now, one of the questions I would ask, and then you ask Kane this, I'm just curious. I mean, I know you're gonna have the interview out, but I'm just curious. Because this is probably something he probably wouldn't want on record per se. But does he want to act more? Have you talked to some of these horror actors who have stated that they would like to do more things, bigger parts, other than just coming in and making an appearance and bailing out? Do they ever express that to you? Like just talking to them, like I would like to do more movies with bigger parts.
Oh yeah, Kane not so much. Even though we talked to guys like Josh Michael, who was in The Walking Dead, and he was talking about what was some of the other things that he was in. I can't think of the name of the movie where the female cop is in the police station.
I don't know that movie.
Female cop in the police station by herself, and there's this cult.
Oh yeah, I know that movie. I thought you were.
They just remade it.
I thought you were talking about the other one.
Last Shift.
Last Shift, yes.
He was in Last Shift, and we were talking to him about Last Shift, and he's just. And Intruders was another film that Ash and I really liked. We were talking to him about Intruders and Last Shift, and he's like, when I hear people talk about those films, The Walking Dead is one thing, it was kind of like a universal phenomenon there for a while. But when people walk up to me and talk to me about Intruders and they talk to me about Last Shift, that's what makes me want to do more horror, and he's like, I'm not a horror fan. I don't actively seek out horror, but
he's always acting.
But I always act in horror movies and TV shows. And he's like, I would love to do more horror. He's like, you come to places like this and you see just how, how much fun people have and how great people are. And, Matt Riddle, the ex-WWE wrestler, was the same way. He's like, this is my first horror convention and I'm home. Like, I love this. This is amazing. I love horror, and being here with all these amazing horror icons. Like, this is my home. I love it. And hearing, these people that we look up to and we respect feel the same way we do. Yeah. It's amazing. It truly is.
Yeah. I did forget to ask Kane Hodder when he's going to play Michael.
Did it feel like when you got the letter back, saying that yes, you were going to be media guest? Did it feel like did it give validation to you and the work you've done on your YouTube channel, to like all that hard work. You guys gonna hit 6,000 viewers, 6,000 subs here in a minute. Did it feel like vindication, validation that you have, all the hard work you have put into the channel? It's now starting to pay off, and this is like this is like the next level as far as your involvement, as far as being, as far as your channel goes. Your channel's evolving to the next level. Did you get that? Did you get that feeling?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's StreamYard. Okay.
Our internet?
No, because I'm not on the internet.
All right. I have no idea. The only thing I can think of is that we have ghosts in the house. That's all I can think of.
Well, we're getting pretty bad storms here in Michigan too, so I don't know if you got.
Oh, are you getting popped? Okay,
yeah,
so
we're getting hit down here.
Yeah, it's my day off, so of course we couldn't get a nice sunny day.
I wanted to ask you to answer that question. That's why I was looking at her like that, because I'm talking way too much.
Oh no, you're fine. But no, I got this like sense of like pride and like excitement, and sometimes it's just like that. I'm just me. Like it's just weird, like a weird feeling for like people want to like talk to me, or like listen to what I have to say and like actually care about it. So yeah, like I definitely got this sense of like pride and like, okay, I think we are doing something right on this channel, and people do actually like us. And
it's cool when you're there and people walk up to you and they're like, hey, Sledgehammer Horror, like, oh my gosh, it's you guys, we want to meet you. And
or we had a gentleman while we were there. He was because we did
because we talked to Dead Meat before the convention.
Talked to Dead Meat, James and Chelsea, and he was like, I just watched your guys' interview. Like he noticed us, and that was just like the coolest feeling ever. Yeah.
And then in July we have 2 conventions that we are guests at. We're celebrity guests at, and
which is like the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah. And it's crazy because like we're going to GhoulieCon, which I'm so excited about, because I have my own panel about filmmaking. Ashley has one about.
I'm gonna be in a horror,
like horror housewives,
women of horror. Yeah, so I'm really excited about
and
that.
And she's doing a fashion show.
Yes.
And then the weekend after that, we go from Kentucky to New Jersey, and like we're celebrity guests with like Bret the Hitman Hart, like all these amazing celebrity guests that are going to be in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And like we're there for that. Like we have a table and people are excited to meet us. We get DMs like, how much do you guys charge for this or that? And we're like, nothing. Right. We should probably start doing that because it's going to help us get gas money to get home. But,
there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Hopefully they will let you do that, and not make you do. There's something that sometimes when you do a show like that, if you have any merch to sell, a lot of times a promoter will come to you and say, you can't undersell the big gun. Right. And that sort of sucks because that takes away opportunity away. Because like where they're charging $50 for a picture, no one really knows who the hell I am. Why would they do that? Why can't I just charge $10 so they can get to know who I am? So hopefully they'll let you do that. And yes, you should charge. Why not? And unless because like you said, to pay for the gas and everything else. I mean, you're entitled to that. I should be your agent.
To me, it's crazy that I'm going to be at the same convention as Bret Hart. Yeah, like that's insane to me. Like the excellence of execution, the best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. And like we're going to be sitting in the same convention center as him. Like I want my table to be right next to his. Like I just want to sit there and stare at Bret Hart the whole time. Like this is amazing. That's Bret the Hitman. Thomas C. Howell's going to be there from The Outsiders, from The Hitcher. Huge lineup of guests that are going to be there, and it's just like I'm not going to want to sit at the table. I'm going to want to go interview people.
I know it's going to be.
How do they find you? Did they find you through your channel?
Funny story. Tim, the guy that booked us, I had actually interviewed him for my first horror movie a couple years ago, and then Ashley and I did an interview with them to promote the film they were working on at the time, to promote their Indiegogo. And he's been a huge fan ever since. And he was just like always telling us like, yo, when I start doing these conventions, I really want to get you guys in on them. And we were like, dude, just say the word, no rush, whenever. We're not going anywhere because that's our, we just want to do this for ever.
Right.
For as long as we're happy. Let's do that.
Absolutely.
And it was a welcomed phone call. You know, hey, we're doing this convention out here in New Jersey. We would love to have you guys be a part of it. You'll have your own table. You'll be able to interview the guests. You know, we're going to give you exclusive VIP. Here's the thing we made for you. You know, Sledgehammer Horror guests, podcasters in New Jersey. It's just like we're Michigan people that grew up weird because we liked horror movies.
Yeah.
And now people want us to travel across the country to meet us.
It's just, I don't know. I guess it's crazy. Like going to these conventions, like growing up weird because I was always, you know, a female that loved horror. I never really felt like I fit in anywhere. But like at these conventions, like I completely, like I fit in. Like these are my people. Like I love these people.
If you guys haven't visited a convention, I can't recommend it enough. Not just to meet the celebrity guests, but the cosplayers that are there are fantastic. It's just a great atmosphere. You know, like everybody around is so jovial and kind and willing to talk, willing to listen.
Yeah.
It's such a great time. It really is an amazing time. And some of the celebrities you meet, like they're that personable. Like, oh my gosh, I keep brain farting tonight. No, Merle.
Oh, Michael
Rooker. Michael Rooker, he did a panel, and when they were doing the Q&A section, he took the microphone and he got up and walked around the room and physically would get with people.
He would tell them to stand up and introduce themselves, and like he was hugging people, and he was just really funny and very personable. Yeah,
and like I said, a lot of times when you're at a panel, they'll sit there, you stand up, you ask your question, they answer the question from where they're at. He was like, I'm not doing that. He literally got up and walked around and picked the people to answer questions when they had their hands up. You'd give them a hug. I got to hug him.
The guy behind was like, I think we have like time for just a couple more
questions.
He was
like, oh, shut the hell up.
He was like, shut up.
We'll keep going as long as we want. You know, and then like getting to meet people that we've been friends with, like James and Chelsea from Dead Meat. We've worked with them a couple different times, and
they're really awesome.
Oh, they're so great. And being able to like, you know, sit and actually shake their hands. You know, and then our daughter is a huge fan of theirs. So our daughter got to meet them. Our daughter got to meet Amelie McLean, who played the little pale girl in Terrifier 2.
She was a little bit afraid.
A little scared of her. But Amelie and her mother are the sweetest. You know, it's like Amy Donald and her mother. Like they're just so kind and sweet. And I love when I see a younger person at a convention and their table is full all the time.
Yeah.
You're like, that to me is awesome. Like these, and the first thing she said when we were interviewing her, you know, how you been doing? Good, just working on school, you know, realizing that, you know, it's still, even though she's a star, you know, her education is the most important thing.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Yes. Good parents, you know, who make sure that their kids comes first, you know. A lot. This is, you know, we saw that show. What was that one behind the curtain? You know, talking about Dan Snyder. You know, and you hear those stories all the time, and you're going there, and you know they're roasting Dan Snyder for his behavior. And to me, it's like that's only part of the problem. The part of the problem is the parent.
Yeah.
You know,
I didn't watch it.
They see stars in their eyes, and they forget that they're a parent too.
Right.
Yeah, because that's all that seems to matter to them. Like they're not really actually protecting their children when they should be. Like that always be number one, no matter what.
She watched it. I can't bring it in my heart to watch the show.
Yeah.
It's too heavy for me.
I mean, I pretty much told you the gist of it.
Right. And I'm not saying like I don't want to watch it because I support like that's not what I'm saying. No, I don't want to watch it because it'll kill me.
Yeah.
Like it'll destroy me. As a father, as a baseball coach, as a father in the community to a lot of the kids in our community, me and Ashley are, you know, the parents in the community. Kids are at our house every weekend. Every weekend we have all the Kenny's friends, Chloe's friends. Like we're the cool parents in the town because
my house is always trash. I never have any food.
Yeah, we definitely have to feed a bunch of teenage boys.
Yeah.
But as that, you know, community dad that is so full of love for every child in this community, seeing someone take advantage of children like that and put them in that type, it hurts to hear. It hurts to, you know, that shit. there in the
it's
world.
really frustrating. It's frustrating because it's like, like when I started doing this show, I was, I would go to some of these actors groups, this IMDb groups, and I would sit there and look for people to talk to. And good Lord, I would get these parents wanted me to know if they wanted to interview their 8 or 9 year old. And I was just appalled. I'm like, man, what kind of parent is that? Well, no, you don't know who the hell I am. You don't know who, I mean, get to, it's like, why are you offering that to anybody?
Yeah.
It just made me mad. I'm
See,
like, I'm an uncle. I'm not a father, but I'm an uncle. I have
Right.
young family members, and that just really burned my ass. Well, like, yeah, go help interview my 8 year old. No,
right.
no 8 year olds to be being interviewed like this.
Anybody under the age of 18, we just had a 16-year-old on my first horror movie. We met their parents beforehand. We had a conversation with their parents beforehand. He's a podcaster. Amelie McLean. We met her mother beforehand. We had a long exchange with her mother, Amy
and
Donald.
also like ask, like, you can be, if you would be in the room.
If you want to be in the room, we're comfortable with that. We
I would
are
insist on
100%
that.
okay with that.
I would prefer that, to be
Yes,
honest.
actually, yes. Honestly, I
Yep.
would prefer you
I
be
would
there.
insist on that.
Amy
No,
Donald, I
I,
say
I,
her mother's name out of respect, but we grew a real, genuine friendship with Amy's mom
Mhm.
after the My First Horror Movie. And she got a hold of us and she was like, look, I looked into everything about you guys.
Yeah, like she looked on my Facebook, like she just made sure that we were like legitimately like good people.
Right.
Because,
Right.
she was interviewing her daughter.
And I was like, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah.
That doesn't upset me at all.
Right there, that's what you should do.
Right.
You should protect your kids from
Right.
that.
And that
No, I got offered that. I got offered a chance to interview her. I passed on it. I didn't want to do it. I was just like, no, I was just a little bit too, I know her parent was there, but on the whole, I just don't interview minors.
which is, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, I just, you got plenty of time to interview when you get a little bit older. So but I love the fact that you as parents are sitting there going like, well, not only I'll interview your daughter, but I'm not going to do that unless you're here watching.
Right.
We won't even talk to a child on social media, anything, unless we know it's their parent. We have a voice call with the parent first before any type of commitments are made.
Yeah.
And it's just a respect thing. I would hope that someone would do that with one of my kids if the roles were reversed. Hey, let me talk to your parents first before I try to have a conversation with you.
Well, I mean, if they didn't, then I would be like, no, thank you.
That's a huge no.
No, thanks.
Huge no.
Yeah.
But
do you feel like now that as you are getting a little bit more known, your reputation is growing? Do you feel that? I mean, do you feel like, wow, this is starting to get a little bit crazy, and do you think you guys are ready for the next level?
I think so. Yeah, I am. I mean, I'm always we're always gonna be doing this for fun. Like, this is what we like to do. This is what we love to do. We love to talk to people about horror. I mean, I think as long as it's fun and we love doing it, like, absolutely, we'll keep going.
If it ever gets to the point to where we're not enjoying ourselves,
like a job, or like,
be...
we're just burnt out. Like, I feel like I would just, I wouldn't want to do it anymore. Like, I would never want our love for horror So
and there's times, obviously, everybody gets burned out. We just took a week off.
Yeah.
Like this week is our week off. Like, yeah, we're hanging out with you. We're doing a watch party tonight for Chucky. But no reviews, no My First Horror Movies, no nothing.
Mm-hmm.
We do our live episodes because we commit to those once a week. But no interviews, nothing. We just, hang out with you. Because we love doing this with you. We're going to do our watch along tonight, our live tomorrow night, but the rest of the time is family time.
Yeah.
We wanted a week of just, being a family, and
which, we need, like,
when I'm doing 2 to 3 My First Horror Movie episodes a day, 5 days a week, and I'm banking up 15 episodes a week, it gets to the point to where, you start to drown a little bit, like, oh, I need a break. I need a break.
If you feel like, oh, I don't even want to do this, and like,
you need to take a little bit of a step away.
It's time to just chill. Like, you have all these episodes, you're
banked up.
Yeah, like you're good.
And now I'm chomping at the bit. Like I'm ready to start talking to people about their first horror movies again. Like
yeah,
I've taken a week off, and I've been scheduling for the next couple weeks, and I got some pretty cool people coming up that I'm very, very excited about. But
I was actually pretty excited for you because I sent this to you too, and I saw Devin Sawa on a podcast, and I'm going like, holy shit, he actually does do these things. Let me send this over to Ken. The dream is not over yet.
Oh, it could still happen eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And you do have other interests outside of horror. I can tell you that personally. As I keep talking to Ken and John Grande, we talk a lot of football. Football.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Big football fan, even bigger baseball fan. Yeah, you see my K-line stuff up there.
Okay. I thought football was your jam. Baseball, though, huh?
Football's my son's jam.
Yeah. That's his passion.
Yep, my son is a very good football player. He's a sophomore. Been playing on varsity since he was a freshman in Hudson, which, if you guys know, Hudson is a perennial state champion. But baseball's my thing. I don't miss a pitch. I don't miss a game. It's always baseball is probably my first love, I would think. I'm pretty sure I had a baseball in my crib with me when I was a baby. Like it's something that, I've got my Detroit Tigers tattoo,
oh my God. Wow, that changes a lot of things. So I did not. I really truly didn't know that. I thought because we've been talking Steelers and Lions.
I love football. Don't get me wrong. Like I love it. I really do. I think football is so much fun, and there's just something about baseball to me that's like poetry. Like it really is. It's like Ernie Harwell said it the best. It's a ballet without dance, and just like the intricacy of baseball. It's such a beautiful thing. And I love listening to the Tigers on the radio. And see, I'm one of those people that would rather listen to a game on the radio than watch it on TV. I love
Dan Price is a good, he can call a good game. Dan Price is a good announcer.
Oh yeah. He's my Ernie Harwell. I only got to hear Ernie for a couple years. But Dickerson, Price, obviously Price passed away. That was a terrible tragedy. I cried. We paid tribute to him on Sledgehammer Horror.
Yeah.
Oh really? I'll have to catch that.
Yeah, there's been a couple we paid tribute to Jimmy Price. We paid tribute to Pee Wee Herman was another big one. Paul Rubens. We paid a tribute to him.
Norman.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on him.
Yeah.
That was
which
the
one?
worst. Norm Macdonald.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Devastated me. Me.
Yeah, it's cool that you guys have outside interest as well. I was going to ask you, do you guys have a day put aside where you don't talk about the channel at all? Like you don't talk YouTube, you don't talk horror, you don't do any of that. You just put it away for like one day a week as to help you not get burned out?
Not really.
No.
The thing is, though, and I think the reason why is because, Ashley's on the channel a lot now, especially a lot more than she used to be. But Ashley is like this fucking just like this idea machine. And she's constantly churning out these ideas. And like, I'm trying to keep up with her. And she's so smart and like, didn't see that coming. Ashley's idea versus Ashley's idea. In defense of Ashley's idea. Like you get all these things.
In defense of was your idea. That wasn't my idea.
Are you sure?
Yeah, that was yours.
Okay.
You can take credit for
I
that.
got one. Okay.
And my first horror movie,
that's something we've done together since we were born.
I know, but that's like your big thing.
That's
pretty much what the channel's made off of is my first horror movie.
You do know that Cheetah and I are still sitting here waiting for our first invite for that, and we noticed that we did not get it. We do know that you guys are scared of me and the Cheetah in the fenda because we want you to.
I thought you were talking about my first horror movie. I was like, whoa.
No. We want to crack at Hereditary. We want you to defend Hereditary against me and the Cheetah. We're ready. I'm waiting. I'm going maybe.
Yeah, my mom and dad owned a mom and pop video store when I was young. So movies has been a part of my life since I was a little boy. And so, you know, and then me and Ashley bonded over, our first date was to go see The War of the Worlds. We bonded over horror.
Yeah.
And
Which
so, like,
version?
horror,
Which version? Did the classic version or the Keanu Reeves version?
2005, Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep. War of the Worlds. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, you know, because like, yeah, horror is our job. It is, but it's our passion too. Like, we love to watch movies together. You know, a night off for us is watching a movie without taking notes.
Yeah.
You know, like that's a night off for us. Watching a movie without the timestamp at the bottom, so I can remember.
You just
write down
watch
the clips.
a movie for fun.
Yeah, you know, taking our kids out to the movies to
Yeah.
go see the Trolls. You know, like that was dope. You know,
That was.
Here coming up next month, we're taking our son to a Tigers game.
For his birthday.
Just taking the weekend off so we can spend our son's 16th birthday. You know, we're going to spend the weekend with him and just celebrate his birthday. So we really do genuinely try to, especially with our kids, because our girls are in dance. Our son is in every sport you can possibly imagine. And we don't miss a game. We don't miss a recital. We don't miss a watch day. Those are things that we can't get back.
Yeah.
So we had to turn down a media pass at a convention in September.
Yeah.
Because our son will be playing football and we had to be there for a Friday, Saturday. It wasn't a Saturday, Sunday. So we had to turn it down. You know, my son only has a handful of games left until he's graduated. And
they only have so many years left with him, and we're not gonna waste them, you know. Not that it would be a waste, but he's number one.
Right. We don't want to say we take for granted,
you
know, the opportunity.
But our kids will always be number one.
Yes. Family first.
Yeah.
Always. Family first, always. We don't miss anything with kids. It just doesn't happen.
What's been the reaction to your reaction to like your immediate family and your close friends that have watched you as well do this? Are they really happy? Are they surprised to see how much success that you guys have starting to really generate now? Because
yeah, I think so. Like they're always like asking us about like things, and like we just went for this last weekend. Like our best friends went with us. And, like kind of like watched us do the interviews, and
which was awesome, you know, because they took pictures of us, so we got like behind the scenes type stuff.
So I mean, they're super like supportive of us. My mom's, they're super supportive of us. Like they watch all of our lives, and
love you, Amy and Nancy.
Yeah, and like
most people are we're still kind of Ashley.
Yeah,
you know, and that's what I love. Like we don't really have anybody that treats us differently.
No.
We got a lot of people. We live in a very supportive town, and people know who we are. Like we go on walks, and people are like Sledgehammer Horror, you know. But like I don't have to worry about going to the grocery store or anything. You know, like nobody gives a shit that much.
Yeah, no.
You mean you're not being mobbed as a Slurpee machine?
Yeah, no, thank God.
No.
I thought you were gonna ask what our kids thought about it. Like they don't give a shit. We're still lame. Yeah, we're still lame, mom and dad.
Yeah.
I think you know what? I think they say that, but I think once they shut the doors to their bedrooms, I think they go like, "My parents fucking rule."
Yeah.
That's what I think.
The coolest thing about it was when we did. You want to talk about Riddle?
Huh?
Matt Riddle.
Yeah, Matt Riddle. So our son is a big UFC fan, and Matt Riddle gave him a little like
pep talk.
Yeah, call him a stallion and stuff like that. So I think he thought like, wow, maybe my mom and dad are kind of cool.
It's stuff like that, you know, and like somebody that we've become very good friends with, somebody that I consider my brother at this point, Frankie G.
Yeah, he's the sweetest.
He played Xavier in Saw 2. Big
yeah.
Throws in the
he is like seriously, like he's like a brother. Yeah. Like we text like, hey, happy Easter. Hey man, I hope you're having a good weekend. For my son's birthday a couple years ago, because my son's a huge Saw fan. Saw is probably the most horror my son does. It's Saw and that's about it. And he sent Kenny a video message on his birthday. Like, you know, hey, I hope you have a happy birthday. And if not, I'll see you with my nail bat in the bathroom, you know, and like that was an amazing moment for us. And those things you know, Matt Riddle giving my son a pep talk about wrestling, Frankie G giving my son a happy birthday video. That means more to me than the money, than anything, is when I get to make these friends and they become close with my family. When Amy Donald goes and has lunch with my daughters, and my daughter and her exchange phone numbers, and they text and talk and they become friends. That's so awesome to me that my daughter made a friend with somebody that.
Yeah, no, she was so excited about that. Like,
Like, oh, that's so awesome. So cool. And we're just blessed. I'm 38, man. I've gone through a lot of bullshit. I would never take a minute of what we're doing for granted.
Yeah.
Ever. This is so cool. And then, like, meeting friends like you, you know, somebody that, like you said, we talk, I'd say at least 5 times a week on Instagram. You know?
Yeah, I cracked me up because I'm like, I wonder if people actually realize how much we really talk, because they don't see me too much in you know, because we both do shows on Thursdays, so we don't really get a chance to see each other very much, you know, live. So they go like, oh, you know, they must not talk very much, but behind the scenes, it's like, you know, here, let me send you some more clip here, and
we're always laughing with each other, and like that's what I think.
I really enjoyed that. I've gotten to know you better. I've gotten to know John Grande better because he's a Steelers fan like I am. So you know, which is why we send a lot of that your way too. By the way,
right? I still get laughs out of it, man. I see someone in the chat asking if starstruck. Yes. I was nervous meeting William Catt.
Oh yeah, you definitely were.
That was nerve-wracking for me. Devin Sawa was nerve-wracking for me.
Yeah, he's never quiet, and you were very quiet.
I was just
like I was like the jibber jabber, and Ken was like super like quiet. Yeah, it was like total opposite.
But it's amazing though, because like we get starstruck, but then like you click. For me, it's like go back to NFL. It's that moment before the kickoff when you have the butterflies, but the minute that ball's kicked, it's game time.
Yeah,
you know, and that's how I feel. Like the minute the mic comes on, I'm good. I'm excited. I'm ready to go. And
you know what? And I'm sure you probably heard this already, though, right? I'm sure you probably heard this already with your interviews. I'm sure that you've been thanked very much for the way you conduct your interviews, because you know there is, you know, I've seen plenty of them on the tube too. People come up there and they're really too flip, they're really too familiar, they're really too buddy, and they ask some really bad questions. And you know, and they immediately put the guest on the defensive. You know, and with you guys, I you know, you're right. You know, it's okay to you know, it's okay to have a fanboy moment. Who hasn't? I mean, you wouldn't be human if you wouldn't be human if you didn't. But it's the way you conduct yourself around them. You know, they're ordinary people. So are we. And I think sometimes we, you know, when people at conventions or whatnot, I think they get sometimes they get overwhelmed by that, and they you know, they try too hard. They're a little bit too loud. They're a little bit too, and they don't even know it. That's the thing. They don't even know that they're at 10 when they should be at a 6, and they'll get more out of 6 than they will out of 10.
And you just show respect to people. Like that's the big thing. Like, the way that I always look at it is, you don't know what's going on in this person's personal life. You don't know what phone call they just took before you started talking. You don't know what's happening behind it. It's like the duck, you know, their feet could be paddling like crazy under that water.
You're just full of analogies too.
I am. I really am. But, you know, like you never know what these people are going through. So just treat them with respect. Ask them, hey, are you okay with this? Like before I do and I will bet every dollar I've ever seen in my life, you ask any female that's ever been on Sledgehammer Horror, that's ever been on a My First Horror Movie episode, before we start recording, I ask every single one, are you comfortable being called beautiful? Because I start the interview with, today I'm joined by the beautiful, blah, blah, blah. If this is something that makes you uncomfortable, I will use a different adjective. Just please let me know. So if you ever hear me interview somebody and I don't say it, they told me they were not comfortable with it. So I would say the awesome, the amazing. And it's just about being respectful. I ask every single person before we do an interview what their pronouns are. Again, it's being respectful. I would not want to make somebody feel less than me, or make someone feel uncomfortable with me. I want to be a comfort for people. I want people to know that I hear them, I see them, I accept them, and I want them to be comfortable. So, you know, the stuff that happens behind the scenes sometimes I feel is just as important as what people see on screen.
Well, even like people will meet certain you know, famous people and be like, oh, they were, you know, they weren't very nice. They were, and then you meet them and they're like completely different and they're awesome.
Justin Verlander.
Yeah. Or like even William Catt, like there's a lot of
people told me to be careful.
Yeah, that he wasn't a very nice guy, and then we met him, and he was so nice, and it's just like, you know, people are only human. Like you have to just take it at face value.
Everyone has bad days.
Everyone has bad days, especially at cons where you're meeting thousands of people. It's got to be overwhelming.
Yeah. And like we got really lucky, like Heather Matarazzo. She was so sweet.
She's literally like my spirit animal.
She is amazing. Martha Meeks from the Scream franchise. And the way that she talks to kids, the way that she would communicate, like we were just sitting there watching her. You know, we were people watching her. Not like how's she gonna do? Like you know, we were in line to interview Jamie Kennedy.
We were just watching an interaction that she was having with the little girl.
We got out of line and walked over like, you're amazing.
Yeah.
Like the way that you were with that child will always remember the way that you just treated them just now.
Just how she talks about, she like forgets that she's like famous and like she, you know, never did it for fame. She would just, I don't know.
She's agoraphobic.
Yeah, like she's definitely my spirit.
Oh, Heather, I caught that, and she moved here recently too. I was surprised. Yeah,
she moved. She just recently moved to Michigan. It was funny because when they were doing the panel, they were talking about what's it called? Football.
Oh.
They're like, what's everybody's favorite football team? And she was like, go Lions!
Everybody's like, because, you know, I was in Michigan, obviously, so everybody went crazy.
But you knew that she was a real fan because she did the Lions. You know, anybody's been to a Lions
I wonder what happened if she would have did that and went, go Panthers. I wonder what the reaction was.
Everybody got up and left.
They left the panel, like, oh.
Hey, John.
That's another great thing about going to cons is sitting in on the panels.
Yeah.
Like we watched the Scream panel, we watched the Dead Meat panel, and they're both informative and amazing, and it was just a lot of fun.
I was going to ask you, what does the word community mean to you too?
Love.
I hear that word being bandied around a lot, but I think people just use it more as a catchphrase. But what does it mean to you, me and you two, as far as this community here goes? What does the word community mean to you? How do you define it?
I would say friendship and love and acceptance. Like I said before, like I never really felt like I had a place, but in the horror community, I feel accepted and I feel like I fit in. Right. And friendship.
Help.
This is a community for a reason. Like we should
help each other.
We should absolutely help each other.
I mean, like I've given people, I'm not going to go too in depth here, but I've given people other people's emails to try to help them get interviews.
But on the contrary, there's been people that have helped us. Like,
oh, absolutely.
You should do this.
Yes.
You know, this will make you better. Would you like to interview this person? Yep. Here's their, you know, so like I'll pat your back and you pat mine.
Right.
Like,
when we have a good friend of ours that's a fairly big YouTuber that called us. It was like, hey, I want to give you guys some equipment advice. You know, and it's just, it wasn't like, hey, you guys sound like shit. He was being genuine.
I want you to be better.
Right. I want you to be better. And he's somebody I talk to all the time as well. Ashley's a good friend of his as well. And that's what it is. Like I just gave someone advice the other day. I was like, hey, are you okay with some constructive criticism? They said, yeah. I said, listen, when you're reading a script, they had it over to the side. So they kept doing this and then they'd come back.
Right.
I said, do you have a spot under your camera where you can tape your script so that way you're right here? And if you got to look down a little bit, you can glance down at your script and come right back up.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to tell you this to be like, hey, I'm better than you. I genuinely like to watch you and I just want to help you out a little bit here. And they were like, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you. And they sent me their next interview or not their next video, their next review doing that. And it looked great. And I told him, I was like, dude, that looks so much better. Like, I'm glad I could help you. Like, that's what we're here for. We're supposed to try to help each other.
Right.
And I mean, I've had people in the horror community like message me, like if they're having a bad day or, you know, and they just needed a friend or someone to talk to or someone to make them feel better. And I feel like I want to be that that person.
Yes.
Like if
We
Yeah, you
want
guys are very. I'll definitely say that you are you're very supportive and you do accept everybody
Mhm.
with their bumps and warts and all. And that's I think that's what elevates your channel a lot is that you accept anybody and anybody to come on in until they put themselves out of it. You know, luckily we don't have that problem in our community too much.
yeah.
We've had a couple videos we've had to take down because of actions of people,
Yeah.
but
Oh.
we
Yeah,
also have
just we just have morals, and I don't
we expect a level of integrity with the people that we interview,
for ourselves and for the people.
right? And when we find out things about them, well,
Yeah,
I can't continue to promote them.
When other people in the community are coming to us and saying, you know, that this person did that or this person it does on a live, like in front of people, like I don't think we can associate with you anymore.
Right.
Like
Yeah, yeah. I just I totally agree. And I know that I know someone took a pretty heroic stand against somebody like that. I just found out this week someone actually stood up against somebody who was doing some really inappropriate things and called him out on it and said that's not good and that's not acceptable. And I'm like I just look at that person as a hero. To be that brave to stand up there and say I'm not comfortable with this, and I don't think you should allow this.
Right.
We can't allow something like this to go on. So I'm standing up here and I'm going to call it out, because a lot of people, they don't want to get involved in something like that. Like
Right.
what if people don't like me? What if they snap at me or whatever? But to stand up there for your moral courage, to stand up there and say, yeah, I don't think so. I don't care who they are or what they've donated to a channel or whatnot. It's just not appropriate. And,
and that's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
We're parents. We like to consider ourselves role models for other people in the community. We literally have people that call us their horror mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a badge I wear with honor. Like that is a badge I wear with absolute honor. And I have to act with a certain integrity on and off camera. And some of the things that people have done after we've interviewed them or before we interviewed them that came into light afterwards.
Yeah, we didn't know what type of human being they were. And then
we've been fooled. We've been bamboozled.
Yeah.
One hurt me. One, I'm not going to get too deep into it because I don't want to bring this back to light, but anybody that knows the art with horror situation, that fucking hurt.
Oh, yeah.
That really hurt me bad.
Yeah.
And we pulled the interview. We did a video describing why we did, and it wasn't to bash him or put him down, even though, it is what it is. It was to bring up and support Sierra.
Yeah.
Was the reason for our video.
It's not necessarily a bad thing that you're bringing this up either. It's not a bad thing if you bring it, because sometimes I think that we do have that tendency, especially now, it seems like our attention span is much shorter. And, most people had already forgotten what had happened with that. So it's important, especially
I was disgusted. I talked at that point. We were just getting started, really, and we had a
community
group chat.
Yeah, group chat
that we were all a part of, and he was a part of it. And we talked every morning. Good morning, guys. How you doing? Thought he was the nicest guy. And then you find out that he's trying to do.
Well, he's just not a good individual.
No, sending naked pictures of himself to
a minor,
a 14-year-old girl, trying to hook up with said 14-year-old girl.
I think it's probably it's probably when you go from being YouTube, the YouTube mode to like parent mode, like before it was all fun, and all of a sudden this parent mode, like, what did you do?
Yeah.
Oh, I called
Sierra.
Yeah,
and I was literally like I understand what's going on, but
we're a couple hours away.
As a mother, you need to go and talk to you need to tell your mother.
Yeah, you need to go tell the authorities.
You need to go tell your parents, and we need to get something done about this.
Because he can't do this again.
Yeah, so that he can't do this to you or anybody else. And I praised her for being brave. And
she outed him.
Yeah.
Like she kept all the stuff. She outed him on social media because she had told him many times, "You're making me uncomfortable," and he didn't know how to,
Yeah,
and the dude, he was 50.
Yeah,
and she was 14. And it was just
he was an adult and she was a child. That's where it boils down.
Period.
To. Yeah.
Right.
Period. And she was brave enough to step up and say, "This is happening to me," and it wasn't in an attention type of way. She sent it privately to a lot of us, like, "Hey, what should I do? what should you do?
I felt really, you know what I felt really bad for? I really felt bad for her in the sense that she had to come to us, strangers here online, and
Yeah.
not able to go to her parents and tell her
Right.
parents. That's what really struck me with the whole damn thing was like, why would you need to tell that to us? Your parents should be the one you're telling to, and then they should be taking you down to the police station. You know, and it's like I felt really bad for her. Like that, she felt like the only recourse that she had was to share this with a bunch of strangers.
Yeah.
I felt really horrible for her, but at the same time, you know, here we are.
At least we had
We
someone.
did rally around her, and you know what? And it also reminds us as parents and as older adults that you know it isn't all fun and games on here, and we have to watch out for the you know we have to watch out for situations like this.
Right.
Absolutely.
That could have been our daughter.
Yeah. I mean, anybody's in.
And we're not saying that if we weren't parents, we wouldn't have helped her. That's
Yeah.
not what we're saying.
Oh
yeah,
no,
no.
not at all.
What's right is right.
Any
And
human being with a conscience, you know,
And
you don't
we've-
have to be parents.
we've said on our channel numerous times, and proofs in the pudding, we've done this numerous times. Sometimes it's easier to reach out to a stranger
Yeah.
because they're not going to judge you. You know what I mean? So we've had people
Well, that's
DM
just
us.
why I was like, you need to go to
Mhm.
your mom. Like you have to tell your mom. I know she might be upset, you know, she might take the internet away or the YouTube away, and maybe that's what she was afraid about. I don't know, but
Your safety is more important than
yeah.
that.
Yeah, your safety is
We
way
have
more
people DM
important.
us that
Man.
have thought about taking their own lives or that have been through situations, and we're always there to help.
hmm
Any advice we can give, you know, like we want to be there to help you. Like the horror community, it's built on terror and scary and blood and guts.
But yeah, we're like the kind, like
right.
yeah,
It's
like
all about
softest,
love.
yeah.
All about love.
But we love our gore and our,
Right.
you know, yeah.
Yeah, it's sometimes real life horror does come up there and rear its ugly head.
And that's the
Um,
worst.
yeah, let's you know, I have not even said hello to anybody in the chat yet. We've been flying like this.
Yeah.
Let me say hello to every single body that has walked in. I want to acknowledge everybody, including our good friends Larry and Jamie, who are on your side. About her. Okay, so me and Larry are cat fighting. Okay, that's what happens when you bring two cats together. Hi Betty, how are you? How are you? Stephen Chang, how are you? The lovely Jamie Hart telling about her. She says she was so nervous meeting David Arquette that I totally forgot I was going to say to him. Man, that's really cute because I can't ever see Jamie in that situation. I think that she would just go up and
We
say,
love Jamie.
how are you
Jamie's
doing?
amazing.
That's so awesome. She had a fanboy moment. I've had those moments too. Let me tell you. Let's see. Let's see. Steven's mentioning Elizabeth Chamberlain. You guys got to interview her. Oh my
Who?
God, Elizabeth Chamberlain. I'll tell you about her off camera. She's wonderful. She's awesome. Let's see. Yeah, everybody's talking about the art with horror situation. Yeah, and you know what's funny too is it's recently too. It's like for the first time, I think for the first time for many of us here in our community, I think we've actually, you know, people have actually experienced the loss of one of our own, and that's really something that you don't hear about too often. Uh, you know, Rob or Dave Oliver passed away. Savage Zombies reviews, and it was the first time for a lot of people when we meet people on YouTube and their friends and our peers, and then one of them passes away. That is a whole different animal, isn't it?
Mhm.
Oh,
it's heartbreaking
because, like you said, when it comes to the community, and you hear about, and these people you've built up and you've become friends with and you respect and you have an admiration for, and then you know you still feel that loss.
Yeah.
One of the most amazing things to me, and I think this is so beautiful. Savage Zombie last week hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And he would have been over the moon if he saw that he hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
That was one of those, you know, catch your breath, smile, know that he's smiling. It was a beautiful moment to see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, it hurt. He was a friend to a lot of people. I never got the chance to work with him. So I'm not like he was my best friend. It's not like
No,
that, but
no.
it's a fellow creator. It's a fellow
Right.
human being and somebody that meant a lot to a lot of people.
Yes.
I had conversed with him a couple different times. Time zone differences made it very hard for us to connect the way we wanted to. But I know that he admired and respected us. He knew that we admired and respected him. And
it's just tragic. Like, he was young and he lost his life at a young age, and yeah.
And I know.
Have you lost anybody like that on your YouTube journey? Have you lost people, or was that like the first one that you experienced?
I've lost people I've interviewed. The director of Butterfly Kisses, Eric, unfortunately, took his own life.
Mm-hmm.
That was a rough one, because our whole episode was built around getting help,
mental health.
But like, sometimes the people that smile the most are the ones that need help the most.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, that was it for him. And obviously, we've lost friends, we've lost parents. Ashley lost her father. I lost my mother, both way too young.
That's a little different. You think it's a little different, though? I mean, I was really surprised. Like I was with you. I didn't know Dave all that well, but I mean, I know that I did know Dennis Mellon pretty well, and when he passed away, that really stung. That one really stung really bad. And and I was supposed to actually have scheduled to interview Dave the week before he passed. He was going to be on the show, and then that happened. It was just like, okay, that's happened to me twice now. I had an artist who was supposed to interview me on a Tuesday. On a Thursday, he got sick on a Friday with COVID, and he passed away on Sunday. And it was just like, man, this is rough.
Yeah.
And yeah. It does remind us, though, that we are a really tight knit community, are we not?
Mm-hmm.
See, and that's the thing, like, because we put up a big post about how much it hurt us to see him go, him and his family go through that, and it's pretty much what we said. We have a love and admiration for him. We never got the chance to work with him, so we're not doing this out of like, oh, please give us pity, but just let him know that let people know you love them while you still can. And, at the end of the day, a human being is gone.
Right.
Like that's like when you really grasp the levity of that, like a human life is just gone.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just, and whether you were friends with the person or not, someone was.
Yeah.
Like someone misses them right now.
Yeah.
Whether it was, their family or their friends or, the people that love that person misses them right now. And that's a heavy feeling. And then, like I said, to see him hit that 1,000 subscriber mark.
Yeah, that was great.
Like that, that was like a wipe your eyes, stand up and applaud moment. Like it was so cool. And I know that, like I said, I know he was looking down with this like cheesing. Because one thing I know about the guy, he was always smiling.
Yes,
he
he
was one of those people that was just infectious. You go and even now you go back and watch his channel, and the dude was infectious with his positivity. And
they take the good ones.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Like I said, I gotta give a shout out to John. John was mentioning about Dennis Mellon too. That really hit hard because John and I were pretty close to him. I gotta give JT a shout out, for that. JT was really close to Dave, and I know he led the charge to get him to the 1,000 mark, and hats off to JT for that. And I think it was a very kind thing to do. Let's go to something a little bit lighter, and let's talk a little bit about what you have been watching, because I have not been able to catch up with some of your stuff. But I know this because you guys are always on. You guys are on so deep, and you guys watch so many movies. But I want to know what you guys been watching so far in 2024 that we should be watching.
What have we seen so far?
Well, I know what your favorite of the year was.
Lisa Frankenstein. I freaking love that movie.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was so fun. And I just like love the aesthetics of it, and like I don't know, the costumes and the comedy and
I liked Late Night with the Devil a lot.
yeah.
The man coming through. Yeah, right.
Yeah, I did like that one. We're actually doing a double feature tomorrow. We're going to watch Immaculate for the first time, and then we're going to see Abigail for the first time tomorrow. So it's like we're gonna watch Immaculate. We're gonna do our live with that horror couple in our life in horror. Then we're gonna go do Abigail, and then we'll come home at about midnight. We'll film our review. We'll upload that, and then we'll wake up the next morning and go to work.
Yeah. Well, I'll go to work that evening.
Yeah. I'm actually super hyped to see Late Night with the Devil, which is an IFC Midnight release, by the way. Just thought I'd throw that out there, just in case people didn't know.
Shudder comes out tomorrow on Shudder, or Friday. It comes out Friday on Shudder.
And I cannot wait to see Immaculate as well. I've been hearing some awesome things about that, and we just got done doing a deep review on Consecration, and we did that for the ISC show, and then I heard about Immaculate, and I was like, okay, I want to see this because I watched a movie by Xavier Gens. He did a movie called The Crucifixion. Man, that movie's bonkers too. He did that a few years ago, and I love those nun movies.
Yeah,
nun horror is awesome.
See,
I didn't really have any expectations for it, so I feel like maybe it'll exceed my expectations.
I've heard nothing but positive things, but I know nothing about the movie.
Yeah.
I have this thing where if I haven't seen a movie, I don't watch any of my friends' reviews on it.
Right.
Just because I don't want them to sway the way I think about it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched Cody Leach, who's a good friend of ours. I haven't watched his Abigail review yet. I haven't watched his Immaculate review yet, just because I don't want him to sway the way I think about these films.
It was Binksy.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
And then, which is funny because like religious horror is like, that's my jam.
Yeah.
And I did not like the first Omen.
I did like it.
And she liked it.
And religious horror normally isn't my jam.
Cody loved it.
Yeah.
Kylie loved it.
I did. I loved it.
Wasn't my thing. I liked certain parts of it, but there was I'm not going to spoil anything. Obviously, the movie's so fresh, but there were times throughout that movie where I was bored. I was like, is something going to happen? And it wasn't like a slow burn bored. It was just like, because there are slow burns where I still feel like, this is still exciting. It's still entertaining. There were moments in the first Omen where I was like, I'm bored to fucking tears right now.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't.
I wasn't.
She loved it.
I was.
Which, again, I think I'm the only person on God's green earth that didn't hate Imaginary. I liked Imaginary. I didn't. Everybody else didn't like that movie, and I was like,
I think with that one, I think what it was too many people were comparing Imaginary with Foster's.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that.
If anybody's watched Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, you know what I'm talking about. I mean, I know. The thing is, though, I think there's another movie supposed to be coming out about imaginary friends too. I think that's supposed to be coming out, and it's like, it's a cute concept, but it has been done, and it's been done really, really well. Yeah, Kitty. Well, what's your cat's name?
Binks.
Hocus Pocus style, baby.
Thackeray Binks.
Little Thackeray Binks.
He's really pretty.
What are some of the other movies we've watched this year? Baghead. Stop motion.
Yeah.
Stop motion's a movie that I still don't know how I feel about it.
It's really weird.
It changes from day to day.
There's some really cool shots in it.
There's a lot of cool stuff in stop motion.
Yeah.
I know the lead actress in that was the lead actress in The Nightingale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's a tremendous movie.
I actually said, what was the movie that we just watched? Baghead. A review on that will be coming out next week, but just a spoiler, I guess. I think it was the best acted movie I've seen this year. Not my favorite movie of the year, but when it comes to acting, I think Baghead was the best acted movie that I had seen this year. Honestly, the acting blew me away in Baghead. I thought the performances were great, very original in the performance section.
Well, just the story too was. It
was original, but there's parts of the story where you're like, "What? Come on, you really?"
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of our best friend, that went to Astronomicon with us. Cecily's here in the chat.
Oh, hey
Hello,
girl.
Cecily. How are you? Welcome to the interview. I'm glad you're here. Steven wants to know if he's seen a movie called Plank Face.
No,
I've never heard of that one.
Me
I
neither.
haven't even heard of it.
Is it available through streaming? We're always open to suggestions. We'd love to review it. We'd
Yeah.
love to watch it.
Girl, you watched Late Night with the Devil. I'm impressed with that. I am looking for that one for sure. I'm definitely looking for that. I definitely want to see that. It looks
I
very
think that's my
exciting.
favorite one of the year, honestly. So as of right now, I would say Late Night with the Devil or Lisa Frankenstein is probably on top for me for favorite of the year.
I think I scored them the same.
I think, yeah, because I think you gave them both a 4 out of 5.
Yeah.
I think I gave Lisa a 3.5, and I gave Late Night 4 out of 5.
Okay.
But again, I'm trying to think of other movies we've been watching.
Good.
This
Well,
year.
one movie I will tell you to look for right now, and it is a shocker, and that is called The Glass Table. That's The Glass Table is just being released this week off of Cinephobia. That movie will keep you up. That movie is it's out there.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's really out there.
What was the one where it was in the trailer?
You'll Never Find Us.
You'll Never Find Me.
You'll Never Find Me.
Yeah.
That was another movie with great performances.
Yeah.
Our review's out, so if you want to be spoiled, you know.
Do you think that you think summertime's gonna be? I mean, gonna be looking forward to anything coming out in the summer that's caught your eye? I mean,
Alien Romulus.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
What's the Cuckoo?
Cuckoo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that one looks pretty good.
I think Longlegs looks interesting. Sounds very interesting.
The Watchers looks good.
Yeah, I just really hope for I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Borderlands too, by Eli Roth. Really looking forward to that. That's gonna be a lot of fun. What else? What else did you have? What's going on with your channel? What do you got coming forward? I know you gotta go in a few minutes and get ready for your watch along. Have you been doing a lot of watch alongs recently? Have you? Is that pretty new to you?
Normal. We have been. Yeah.
We got a good response to it. So coming up this week on the channel, Friday we have Dobie Zaccarelli of Aphasia. Talking about Phantom of the Megaplex on his My First Horror Movie. The Fog versus 1980 versus 2005 comes out on Saturday. For members, you can watch that now. And then we'll be live tonight at 10 o'clock watching Chucky on USC on USA and Sci-Fi. If anybody wants to come and join us at 10 o'clock for that. And then tomorrow night, we will be live with Our Life in Horror, and That Horror Couple, ranking our top 10 twist endings. And it's going to be a little different because this is one of the lists, very few lists, that Ashley and I did together. That is a knockdown, drag-out affair. When Ashley and I try to make a list together.
Did you immediately disqualify Shyamalan as being part of the list?
No, but there is a movie that is probably most well known for its twists that we put very low, just because it's probably the best twist of all time. But this is our favorite list.
Let's see.
Yeah.
The Blank Face is on Tubi, Fandango, and okay. I'll definitely have to take a look at that. I haven't heard that one, but I know that Tubi has been putting together a lot of new horror films to the channel, including the brand new one by the Suska twins. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I just thought I'd throw it out there for anybody who likes to
have not seen it.
No,
But I know that our homie Ghost Pirate Entertainment, he does a lot of stuff with Tubi originals, and he knows his stuff about Tubi. So
Tubi's coming in clutch.
Tubi is probably the best. Besides Shudder, I would say Tubi is probably the best horror streaming service at the moment, in my opinion.
Right. They have over 1,000 movies in horror right now on Tubi.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
isn't
yeah.
that crazy? I mean,
Yeah.
you get in there and you start clicking around. Now, are you still doing physical media as well, though, or have you gone all streaming?
Oh
We will
no.
always
Oh,
get
we'll
physical.
always.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, grew up in a video store. Well, we still collect VHS.
Yeah.
Anytime.
We still have a VHS. It's crazy.
Yeah, we still have a VCR. Anytime that we
Or a
watch
VCR.
Alien, we watch it on VHS. Just because it deserves to be watched grainy and dark and adjust the tracking just a little bit.
Yeah.
When you lighten these movies up to 4K too much, it takes some of the anxiety and fear away from it.
Yeah,
So
it
movies
becomes the
still
picture
watch on
becomes too, the picture
Yeah.
becomes too clear, and you see everything. You see all the bumps and whistles, and
Yeah.
you don't really want that. You want to be scared. You want to,
It was never meant to be 4K. These movies, some of these movies.
The best example of that is the Sleepaway Camp Blu-ray.
Yeah.
When you see Ricky in the shadow, like, and you can clearly see it's Ricky, even though he's not the killer. Like,
Right.
Jonathan Tiersten totally stood in for that moment. That's like, these movies weren't supposed to be made like that. They weren't you're not supposed to watch them like that.
No.
You're supposed to watch them dark and grainy, and like, that's how they were filmed, and that's how you're supposed to watch them. That's how we enjoy them.
Now, before we let you go, tell us again the next two dates you have as far as being convention. You're going to Kentucky and New Jersey. What are the dates for those conventions?
July 19th and 20th, we will be in Covington, Kentucky. And then July 25th, 26th, 27th, we'll be in Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Wow.
Both of them.
So are you going to go to Kentucky and then come home and then go to New Jersey? Or you're just going to go to Kentucky, then New Jersey and home?
No,
We're gonna go
Kentucky, home. But the Kentucky's it's only about 3 hours away.
It's like 4.
4 hours away. It's just on the other side of Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and then we're taking our girls to that one with us.
We're taking our daughters because Chloe's going to be on the filmmaking panel with me, because we're talking about our new film that we're just finished writing. We're going to start filming soon, called Psychasthenia.
And then when we go to Atlantic City,
it's just us.
Well, Mom, if you're watching this, can you watch the girls that weekend? I haven't asked yet.
The movie you just finished writing. So, will we be heading into production for that? And where will you shoot it at?
Summer. It'll be shot. We're trying to get a location right now. It's definitely a slow burn, psychological. If you've seen, very very big twist at the end that I don't think people will catch on to, I hope. If you've seen our first short film, it's on our YouTube channel. It's called Home is Where the Haunt Is. This is a sequel to Home is Where the Haunt Is. We're not marketing it as a sequel. You don't have to watch Home is Where the Haunt Is to understand this film, but this picks up right after the events of Home is Where the Haunt Is. Like, right after the events of Home is Where the Haunt. And this is the first time we've told anybody that.
Yeah.
We spilled the on that just now. No one else knows.
Exclusive. That's right. Yeah. That's right. This is what you get when you come to 8 Questions With, right?
I gotta impress the Cheetah, man.
That's right, because he wants to crack at you too. I'm telling you, you laugh at that, but he's sitting over there right. He's sitting over there right now with Hereditary in his mouth, and he wants to crack at the fence that's right. But listen, Ken and Ashley, I know you guys got to go get ready for your live stream. I want to thank you for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. Always a pleasure. I'm so glad you came out, and of course, you guys are.
Thank you.
Your primary streaming day is Thursdays. And yes, I will say, even though that we are on here on Thursdays, I highly recommend you go over there, and you can put us on watch later, and then head over there to Sledgehammer Horror for the live action. They have a very vibrant community over there, a very active chat. Go over there and give them support and love. They're going to be hitting 6,000 subs here in just a minute if they haven't already through this stream here. And I absolutely did. You hit it? You did. 2008. Wow. Okay, I'd like to take credit for that, but I can't, because I don't know. You know what? You were at 5,090 when I came on, so I don't know. Anyway, I know 2 people sub to your channel. So if that's awesome. Okay, we'll take it for the win.
Yep.
Yes, heck yeah.
It's all because of you.
That's right. When you get there and say we hit 6,000 thanks to the Cheetah,
Yep.
you know. But you'll be watching Child Play. Is this the original one or the remake?
No, we're watching the TV show, Chucky.
Oh, the TV show. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. I thought you were watching the original Chucky because I was gonna say I'm a huge Catherine Hicks fan, so I'm all about the original one.
Right.
All right. So Chucky, the TV show, is gonna be on at 10 o'clock. Head on over to Sledgehammer Horror tonight. As soon as we're over here, go over there, hit in their chat, and enjoy the show. And we will be back here Saturday night or Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m. along with the Friendly Men, and we'll be interviewing the Canadian rock band Jaded Truth, and that will be here on yes, Rock On. And then Sunday we're doing a special show with Brian from Dragon Movie Guy. He will be here at 8 o'clock on Sunday night, and that will be a lot of fun as well. Great guy, can't wait to talk to him. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you on Saturday. You two stay there 1 second, and to everybody else in the chat, thank you guys so much. Catch the replay, share us out, and more importantly, sub to us. We're trying to hit 1,400.
Sub to the Cheetah.
Cheetah.
Cheetah.